guys, I'm Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing kind of just a quick extra unhaul video. I'm still going through a lot of my books and determining what I want to keep, what I don't want to keep. Most of these are books I've already read before. I was just going to reread them and see if I wanted to keep them, but some of them, after some time of just letting them sit there, I've determined that some I really don't want to, or at least one series I don't want to, and the others I did kind of like a try a chapter thing of just, like reading the first chapter or at least some of the first chapter and seeing if I was interested, if something sparked in me interestingly enough to want to reread it. So I'm just going to go over the books I determined I would keep from that. Obviously I'm still going to reread them because I only reread the first chapter or so, not the rest of it, but these are the ones I'm going to be keeping. And the first one is The Rebellion Begins. This is the novelization of the first 2 episodes of season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. Yeah, I just had it on this pile because I haven't read it for a bit, but yeah, I read the prologue, just kind of remembered how much I liked this beforehand, so I'll be keeping this one. The Pony with No Name is another one. This is an old, middle grade horse book from when I was a kid that I used to like, and I don't know, I chuckled a couple times reading the first book. I remember this was quite chaotic and the characters were quite weird, but yeah, I did remember that much, and that still kind of shined in the first. I think I read the first chapter and then part of the second one, so yeah, I will still be keeping this one to try. And the last one, well, it's kind of the last 2, but I only read part of the first one, and that is The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Magnus Chase and Gods of Asgard series. And obviously, until I determine whether I want to keep this book, I also have the second book I'm keeping, which is The Hammer of Thor. This one's The Sword of Summer. So, yeah. I did read it. Magnus is a little bit of a, at least from this first chapter, he does come off as a little harsh, a little bit, but it is only the first chapter, and I do know he has character growth and stuff. So yeah, I will be keeping these 2 for the time being, and yeah, until I reread them and see if I want to keep them ultimately. My goal with all this is basically just to keep books that when I look at, I would want to reread. I would like, even if I like a book, unless it has that rereadable quality for me, I just don't want to keep it because I don't have a lot of space. I also just don't want to keep books that I just don't care about. So yeah, that's kind of a huge reason why I'm doing this. Anyways, the other 2 books that I tried reading a chapter on that I've decided to unhaul, these are all the unhaul books now, is the first one's The Most Beautiful Horse in the World. This is another book from my younger years that I used to like. I looked through it. This isn't a bad book, because none of these are bad books that I'm getting rid of. I just don't think I'm gonna want to reread it. There's a ton of melodrama in this book. I was looking through it before, just throughout it, and yeah, there's a ton of melodrama. Literally, the mother and the sister of who are hiring the main character to take care of this horse, both of them need restraining orders from all of humanity because they're terrible people. But yeah, and I have no idea why they put a palomino on the cover. The horse is a chestnut. I hate it when they do that with covers. They do that a lot with horse covers. They'll say it's one thing, or they'll be riding an English saddles in the book, and on the front it's a Western saddle. So I don't know. Cover designers apparently just don't get told what's actually in their books, but whatever. So due to the melodrama and all that, I just decided I probably, even if I did reread this, I probably wouldn't give it a very high rating and keep it anyways. So I'm just going to unhaul this one. And the last one I'm going to be unhauling is actually the whole series. I got, how many pages did I get into this? I think I literally got 3 pages into this, and I was just like, I think I'll just remember this as a good memory because I did enjoy the series when I read it the first time, but I think so I just went into this with, I think I'll just remember this as a good memory and get rid of the whole series, and that is Christy Miller's series. I do know Christy starts out as kind of a brat at first, but I don't know, just after reading that, I'm just not sure I want to go through this many books. So And contemporary is not really my jam anymore anyways, and I do have other Christian contemporary books for YA that I like a lot better than these. So I am going to be unhauling the whole series, which is all 4 of these volumes. Yeah, someone will be really thrilled to get this whole series. I like Goodwill. That's where I got most of these. Actually, I think I got some of these at yard sale, but whatever. But yeah, I'm going to be unhauling this whole series. It's just not a series I would probably reread a lot, so there's no point in keeping it. And on that note, the last series I want to mention, this one I determined, I was planning on rereading it this year, but after just a lot of thought and kind of just a lot of thinking about it and what I know from the series as a whole from reading it before and stuff, I just don't care anymore, and that is the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. It's kind of like a sequel series to the Percy Jackson Olympian series, but they're older. These are YA books. I don't know why libraries keep trying to put this series and Magnus Chase in the middle grade section. These are about teenagers with teenage situations. They need to go in YA. I have no idea. Percy Jackson is a middle grade series. These are not. So I don't know why they keep putting them in middle grade, because they're not middle grade, but I don't know. It's one of those things that about libraries that drives me absolutely insane. They probably do the same thing in bookstores too. I just don't frequent bookstores, so I wouldn't know. But, mainly, I'm just not sure I want to reread all these again. Like, all these books are huge. There's actually 5 of them. I only own the first 4 because I hated the last book. I absolutely hated that last book. And, yeah, so I'm just not sure I want to go through all that again. And this one, I mean, we introduced new characters and they were fine and stuff, but there's also just some other issues. There's, like, mentions of, like, or at least a character turns out to be gay in, like, the 4th book, and this series did help me think about how I would be around, you know, people that are different from me, from having this in the series, because this was, like, the first series I read that had that in there. So it gave me a lot of thought of just, like, how Jesus would interact with people that are different than me or hold different views than me, and how I would want to treat them and stuff in that scenario. So I will forever be grateful for the books for doing that for me, because it got me really thinking about it, and I did come to, you know, terms of just, I would treat them like Jesus would, which is be, you know, with love and acceptance. Even if I don't necessarily agree with why they're doing things, or believing in certain things, or whatever. But yeah. Anyways, I will always be happy that the books helped me with that, but I don't think I want to reread them. And I don't want to keep them on my shelves for that reason, just other reasons of just, like, the last book was terrible. Literally, we got a viewpoint from a character nobody cared about, so I don't even know why her viewpoint was in there. Her viewpoint wasn't in any of the other books, but suddenly she was important in the last book. The, Percy and Annabeth went through a ton of stuff in the 4th book here, and it's never explored in the 5th book of, like, the after effects of being basically stuck in the Greek mythology version of hell. I mean, there was no there was sort of was that other characters were viewing, but it would have been so much more interesting seeing it from their perspectives, and we didn't get that. And the big bad villain throughout this whole series, this has been a gripe of mine ever since I read these books. For 4 books, we were told this person, this Greek mythology, Roman mythology deity thing, I don't know, it's Gaia. I think she's both, but I don't know, whatever. But we were told she was the most terrible, horrible being through 4 books. We get to the 5th book. They have a battle with the giants. That was actually the best battle in the whole book. Then we get to the end, when Gaia is, like, going to take over the world. They defeat her in 1 page. I kid you not, it was 1 page, front and back. Maybe you could argue it was 2. Maybe in a paperback it would be, I don't know, maybe 2.5. But are you kidding me? We defeated the idiot in a page. Are you kidding me? That was just the lamest thing ever. Even in the original Percy Jackson movies, books, in the original series, it, you know, took 1 whole book of them, like, invading New York for us to even get close to the bad guy, and then it took a whole chapter to take him out personally. So, but this Gaia was supposedly worse, and we took her out in a page. Are you kidding me? This is the lamest ending ever. So yes, I always hate the last book for that. So I will just be removing this series. And also these books are huge. I mean, not that I care about that, but if I already have issues with the last book, I'm not sure I just want to go through that again. So these will all be leaving, and I nearly dropped that. So I don't know. I think that's pretty good. I'll be unhauling all of these, so that's pretty good. And yeah, for once my to keep file is actually smaller because this is these are the ones I'm keeping. So at least for now. I mean, if Magnus Chase annoys me this time around, I'll be getting rid of these too. But I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because I did like this series more than Heroes of Olympus. So yeah, we shall see. Anyways, that is my little unhaul explanation video of why I'm getting rid of this series. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, and just let me know anything you want to let me know about. Yeah, I never know how to sign off. It's just so weird. Okay, anyways, these are all the books I wanted to unhaul. If you've unhauled any books lately, let me know what they were and your reasons for getting rid of them. And if anyone else has read this series before, the Heroes of Olympus series, did you hate the ending of the last book, which was Blood of Olympus? I think that was the last book's title. Did you hate the ending too, or did you like it? No shame if you liked it, because go ahead, everybody's different, but I just thought that was so lame. Like, a page? Are you kidding me? Anyways, that's all for now, so yeah, thanks so much you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!